Okay. All right. So welcome to is this our fourth or fifth one? Interview for by the nominating committee for the International Drum Horse Association. This is Darcy Hawes. Introduce ourselves first. I'm Rebecca McKeever, the outgoing president for the IDHA. Also sitting on the nominating committee that are joining us today are JC Hendricks from Canada and Wendy Rager from Pennsylvania. And so,
hi, Darcy.
Hi, Darcy.
Hi, Darcy.
Yay. So it is October 3rd, 6:55. Sorry for the late start, a little bit of technical difficulties, but here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is just go in order and ask you questions. Just do your best answering them to the best of your abilities. And that's about it. Just very informal. Okay? All right. So Wendy, you want to start us off?
Yes, I will. Sure. Darcy, are you willing to serve in whatever position you are needed if elected to the board?
Yes, I am. Whatever position is required, I can fill any one of them.
Great. Thank you.
JC?
Yep, I'll go next. Could you tell us how you are invested in the drum breed?
Well, I'm a lifetime member, so I've shown commitment that way. I'm also breeding. I was the second breeder in Alberta. I've currently bred 10 drum horses with 2 more for next year on the way, and I plan on carrying on that way, as well as I do quite a significant amount of promoting of the drum horse here in Canada.
What kind of promotions do you do there?
For the last 4 years, I've ran the IDHA Canada booth at the main event Horse Expo. I've also done breed demos there for the last 3 years. I'm one of the most active showing members in Canada. I've been to 2 out of the 3 shows that have had IDHA approved drum classes, as well as I show every year in the Pinto classes, well, the draft horse Pinto classes with the Canadian Pinto, just to get the drums out wherever we can.
Great. That's great. Okay. So what is your skill set? And when it comes to the IDHA, where would your skill set best be put to use?
I could go anywhere. I've been supervising officer of social club committee / bar, where I was monitoring the meetings and ensuring that they followed them correctly using Robert's Rules of Order. I monitored all of the bookkeeping and accounts. I kept inventory, monitored the inventory of the actual bar, made sure that there was nothing going amiss there. I've got quite a few years of retail management where I've ran stores, done bookkeeping, looked after all of hiring, firing, et cetera, extensive training of personnel through various other positions. I've been a board member of the Canadian Pinto Horse and the Alberta Pinto Horse Associations for the past 4 years, basically doing a lot of the advertising and assistant show secretary, filling in wherever needed. There's more. I'm just running out of what I've said and where I'm going.
Are you still a board member of those associations?
I am. It's a minor position though. And according to our bylaws, as long as I'm not a board member on another drum horse association, it's acceptable.
Oh, absolutely. I was just thinking just time commitments for both organizations, because I'm sure
the Pinto organizations is very simple. There's 2 meetings a year, which basically discuss the shows that we're going to attend and do some advertising for the shows. So it's less than probably 10 hours a year.
Oh, wow. Cool. That makes it easy. Okay, Wendy.
Oh, definitely.
Right. Thank you. Wendy?
Sure. Yes. Darcy, are you willing to serve in a position that does not best utilize your skill set if that is where you are needed?
Wherever I'm needed. My skill sets are extremely varied and I pick up things quite easily. So anything that the board is going to require me to do, I'm quite capable of.
Okay, that
Awesome.
sounds good. Thanks.
Do you feel that you are a team player?
Yes. Wherever my last position where I was working, I was running an electrical department for a manufacturing company, and all of my staff and half of the plant were calling me Mom because they knew I was going to look after them and make sure that everybody was playing fair with each other, basically.
Aw.
Okay. Oh, I guess it's my turn. All right. So, Darcy, are you prepared for criticism, and are you able to learn from it in a positive manner?
That's been the story of my life. I'm a woman in a traditionally male field, so I'm used to criticism and having to prove my knowledge and letting comments roll off my back. Like it's just the way it is.
So, what is your field, out of curiosity?
I'm a master electrician.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And I also have a degree in occupational developmental psychology, so I do understand people quite well.
Cool. Excellent. Wendy?
Yes, what are ways to promote the drum horse? And do you have any ideas that you can bring to the table to accomplish this task? And if so, are you able to implement them yourself?
Yes. Promoting the drum horse is absolutely critical at this point. So we need to have horse info booths at horse expos, which I've already been doing, to get the word out there so people can see them, know what they are. We should be doing magazine articles with other places. Whenever there's a show coming up, we should be contacting the local newspapers, local radio stations, trying to do interviews, get information going that way. For promoting the drum horse, we also need to get as many drum horses out in the public as possible so people can see them. So I've got a huge program, a record of merit program that I've put together that will get people out doing everything from recreational riding to open shows to get points that aren't affiliated with anything that the IDHA does necessarily, just to get the horses out there so that people can see them. Did I answer the question, or have I gone in circles here?
Could you talk a little bit more about that last kind of idea?
The record of merit program?
Yeah, like we were talking about like doing recreational riding and getting points for that. Like, how do you mean?
A lot of organizations have, like, it's for the recreational riding, it's a self-imposed log sheet. We're trusting on the honesty of the actual participants to log their hours of basic horse use. But there's also formal programs to be set up for youth, for showing, to get them out doing things for youth horses, to give the horses points for being a youth horse. So they get certificates and champion certificates as they progress and get points for having the horse out there, as well as just a general horse record of merit. And then also, what did I call it? Hang on here. I've got it written down. Ability, certificates of ability. So whatever event that somebody may participate in, whether it's 3-day eventing, dressage, cow penning, anything, they can accumulate points in that and get a certificate of ability based off of points for their horse participating in that out of the public.
So just basically expanding the point.
The year-end point, yes.
Yeah. So that more people that can't go out showing are more involved.
Absolutely, because we need to get everybody involved, and not everybody can afford to show or have shows that are close enough for them to be able to attend every year.
Actually, kind of cool. Actually, I like that.
All right.
Oh, great. So was that, Wendy, was that your question?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm next.
Okay, JC.
Yeah. So we talked about teamwork, but can you also self-start, or do you require direction from someone else?
No, as I said, I'm supervisor of a electrical department in a manufacturing position was my last, and I was dealing with multi-million dollars worth of inventory and equipment and stuff, and totally in control of that. 2% loss rate when the industry average is 15%. So I'm very organized and meticulous and keep everybody under control.
Awesome.
As well as
Thank you.
be nice about it.
Cool. All right. So, and have you worked with sorry, I need new glasses, I think. Have you worked with groups on projects in the past? And if so, please share past group projects that you have worked on. And then did you enjoy working in a team setting?
Well, pretty much everything I do can be classed as a group project because you have to coordinate with all the other trades that I have to work with, as well as the people that are the clients, make sure. So it's like a huge project that's always at the same time, because it's a building and manufacturing modular buildings, which that takes months to do, but there's a whole team that's involved, and every little component has to fit together, and everybody has to get along to make it work properly and pass all the requirements that are needed to make it safe and workable.
Great, thank you. Wendy?
Okay, what skills do you have that can help the IDHA and prospective position?
Specific skills with little certificates or whatever. I do have MS, Microsoft Word, Excel. I have Dreamweaver, HTML5, CSS3, basic design of websites, basic accounting skills. I'm trying to think what else specific skills. I know Robert's Rules of Order for meetings.
Always handy.
Thank you.
JC?
Well, that next question kind of already got pretty much answered there.
Yes.
And the one after that for the full-time job too.
Yep.
All right, so next question then after that is, as a potential candidate for the IDHA board, do you feel that as a board member you should be required to attend a minimum of 2 IDHA sponsored shows per year out of your pocket to help promote the breed?
Yeah, see, that's a hard one to answer because, JC, as you know, you're in the same area as me, basically.
Yep.
Our shows, we have 2 shows right now that are IDHA sponsored. The first one started last year and the second one started this year. If at all possible, board members absolutely must be promoting the drum horse, whether it's at a show, an IDHA show, an open show, a horse expo, writing an article for a magazine, doing an interview on the radio, anything that they are capable of doing, they need to be promoting, but it doesn't necessarily have to be strictly an IDHA show. As I was saying at the beginning, the 2 that are here, one is 4 hours away from me and the other is 7, which makes it, and I'm sure there's other people in the same situation where there's just not shows near them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very good answer. Because nearest IDHA show to me is technically 1,500 miles away. So yes, I get that.
Yeah, but if there's got to be other things, like all board members should be participating and promoting as much as they possibly can, because that is one of the key components of being a board member.
Yeah.
Let's see, where are we? Okay, I think you already answered the next one.
She pretty much answered that one too.
Yep. Okay, so So how do you plan to make this great association even better in the future, and especially in the next 5 years?
I don't know exactly how much I can do on my own because it is a team effort, and we do need to have the membership involved. I guess listening to what the membership wants and seeing if there's anything that's amiss, because everything has been going well. Like for a 13-year-old association, we've come a long, long way. I guess my getting more people involved is a critical thing. Finding out what's going on with the membership, what we can do to get the membership more involved and keep them as members, because I have a suspicion that there's potentially people who were members who are no longer members because there was nothing beyond registering horses for them to do. So that's why I've come up with the record of merit and participation certificates for even just recreational riding to get more member involvement.
There you go.
Okay. Wendy, you want to ask the last one? I think.
Yep. Sure.
At least one on the page.
Yeah, I think you may have answered this, but what would your plan be to get the membership rules up and the horses in shows if possible?
Well, as I said, like, you can't force somebody to show, but we need to encourage them. And if we can find alternatives where they can do different kinds of activities with their horses and get acknowledgement for it, that might help, because I don't know about down in the States, but in Canada, trying to get people for traditional shows with the halter classes and basic equitation and performance classes is getting more and more difficult because everybody's breaking off into specialty events. So if people can get credit for their specialty events, that might help get more people out doing things.
Okay.
There you go. So I got another question for you there, Darcy. So you talked a little
Sure.
bit about your breeding program and stuff like that, but can you talk a little bit more about the horses you currently have and who's all pregnant and what your plans are with them, and just a little bit more about your horses?
On my property right now, I have 15 horses, 12, sorry, keeping track of them all, sometimes who's who is a little hard. 12 of them are part of the drum horse program. So my oldest mare is a Shire B mare. She's registered with the British Shire Horse Association, Shire Horse Society. She has an excellent pedigree with Ruskington Danny and Taurus Quicksilver on her papers, which are for Clydesdales and Shires are quite important horses. I have several other mares. I have Mariah's Esme, which is a half sister to Mariah's Boone. So she's got some bloodlines there as well. And both those two mares are pregnant for next year.
Oh, nice.
They're pregnant to my boy Spence Farms Apache, who's got an Edingale mascot on his papers. He's an F1. He's from Gene and Charles Spence down in Alabama. I'm trying to spread out and bring in as many different bloodlines to Canada as possible. I have two more mares that foaled this year, but they didn't cooperate and are not pregnant for next year. And that's DCF Ariana. She's an F2, and her full sister, THE Calliope. Ariana drives right now, and because she didn't get in full, she's going to be showing next year, and hopefully I'll be able to get her under saddle. She's been ridden a couple times, but nothing serious. I have several young horses that are for sale. THE Fiona, THE Janessa, THE Gaia, who's is Esme's daughter from last year. Fiona and Janessa are out of Hoover. And then this year we had 3 foals. Hyacinth, who's Calliope's filly, a solid filly. Then we have 2 colts, Helios and Helicon, which are out of Ariana and Hoover this year. They're also for sale, so that's all of the drum horses that I have on the property. I also have a Clyde colt that's a year old that's going to be joining the breeding program to create some F3s with the other mares, the F2 mares. He's registered name is the Gangster. He's Jax, and he's got some good quality Clydesdales on his lines. He should reach somewhere around 18 hands, so he should help add some height back into our program. And then I also have on the property my old boy, who's a 28-year-old halflinger. He's mostly retired. And then I have 2 young horses that I purpose bred that are mixed drafts. That one is sired by Iggy, the THE Enigma. No, sorry, THE Belafonte, who's now down in South Carolina with Natalie Hyatt. And the other one is that's Wisp. And then I have Roxy, who was sired by Archie. And they're mixed drafts, and they're a purpose bred for mountain trail horses and pack horses in the mountains. So I think that was everybody.
Right, the herd.
And the plan is with Jax is to get some F3s on the ground, as well as continuing with some more F2s. And there's possibly a couple mares that might be coming in next spring. It all depends on my financial situation, whether or not they can come here or not.
Definitely quite the investment with all the horses and how many drums you got in Clydes. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, a lot of work.
So anybody else have any other questions?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Okay, great. Well, thank you, Darcy. I really appreciate your time. And
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you.
All righty. Excellent.
Thank
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
All right. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.